One of the loudest venues in the National Football League. You get a look there at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mayfield going to the air right away. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
Jaguars 7, Chiefs 0.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line.
The Chiefs take it over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. 4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Throwing, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past to pay our early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Azeez Ojulari there on the tackle. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And the Jaguars are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now...
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Nick Chubb with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Jaguars have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now 14-0. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. Are back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. He's got room at the 30. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today. But sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more. And it was right there.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Hard throw, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not getting too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield able to get this one to McBride. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Right side, and he finds Gray. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
On the give, this is Harris. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs have got it back to within a score. And Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Jaguars 14, Chiefs 7.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They got to take care of business first.
From the 29, Brady. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll go left side on the ground, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Looking for Ertz, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 23. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a...
And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out, got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
And that play stopped behind the line by a corner. Trent McDuffie getting in there.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Gets this to Ertz. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So, roughing the passer penalty and an automatic first down.
And that's the mark of a bad team, partner, because that's an easily preventable penalty, but they just didn't take the proper steps to make it so.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Azeez Ojulari pushing in and dropping it.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
On second and goal, Brady. And this is Ertz with it, right side. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Gano's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Chiefs at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 36 yards on the play.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Jaguars are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense. They'll keep you in the game to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 22 yards there, a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Throwing on first down is Brady. He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively. Or it could have gone for more.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. To throw is Brady. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Brady to throw for it on 4th down. Zach Ertz has it complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
They'll run with Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. On play action, it's Brady. Sliding out of the pocket. Completes it to the fullback hand. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Brady. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown from 10 yards out. And the Jags go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Now the ball comes loose, and the Jags grab it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit, and number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
That throw by Brady incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Brady, that's out to Chubb, complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Brady now on 1st down. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Brady again. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just 1 play. Flushed out right. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The third quarter starts with a run by Chubb, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Here's Brady to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Brady. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Here's Hardman to return. 12 yards on the return that time, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now Mayfield. Able to find Gray here. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down, Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by David Long. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. A give running right is Chubb. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And again, it's Chubb. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Locates Ertz going across the middle. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. 2nd and 10. Now Brady. Under a heavy rush. and down he goes.
Credit that to the former Georgia Bulldog, Azeez Ojulari getting in there to bring him down. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of control.
And now here's another interception. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
2nd down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Brady. Ertz has it left side.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Von Miller make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing now is Brady. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Juan Thornhill.
And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily. I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Jags are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They run it again with Chubb. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. This from 42 yards out. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A 1st down throw for Mayfield. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by David Long. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Chubb will get the call running left. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. That one goes for 8 yards.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Chubb running right. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4.
85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Trey McBride, 75 yards. And the Chiefs are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Trayvon Diggs getting the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Handoff comes to Chubb. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
He will push his way down to about the 14. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Chubb running to the wide side. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because One team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. And trouble trying the middle here. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
Brady will take a knee here, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb.